Alright, haters will say that I do two videos in the one close or same day, but who knows? Yeah, like my little painting things at the back. Um, I wanted to talk to you about, do you trust the Lord? Let me tell you I tell you two stories. So part one and part two. So I remember in 2022, I told the Lord I wanted to just come to Berbice and serve my church because it's I'm not getting to serve as I want to because my parents are living in Georgetown and I'm only getting to serve my church on Sunday, sometimes Saturday, and I'm not getting to serve them, you know, like I'm like I'm supposed to, man. One day you can't really do a lot, and this is before I even knew who my husband would be and all these kinds of stuff. And that same year, my friend, she told me that just randomly, she told me that she dreamed that I married a Indian guy, and I, at that time, was all up in. I like dark chocolate guys, and I had just broken up with somebody and it was traumatic, and I had hopes of getting back with a person. So when my friend told me that she dreamed that I married this guy, all of those hopes just came crashing, um, because I mean dreams are not over God's word and stuff like that, but when somebody dreams it, especially randomly, especially if they're close to me, I pay attention. But this besides the point. And I remember coming closer, wanting to move, and two things. I remember telling the Lord, I don't want to move to Berbice for no man. Because what if it doesn't work out? I look like an idiot moving back, And I told him, where am I going to get a job from? Because I was working at LBI. I was working at LBI, and I didn't know if they were gonna allow me to work somewhere else. Gaisuko, I'm talking about. So, long story short, I decided that I was just going to quit and go. I don't recommend unless the Lord tell you. I was acting impulsively. So, but I remember this prayer. I said, Lord, when I reach to Berbice, when I move in Berbice, let it not be because of some promise of some husband or some promise of some guy, right? Because back then my now husband wasn't even looking in my direction, even though people told me it was him and all of that. He wasn't even looking, and I didn't say anything to him. So, but I told the Lord, I don't want to move here because of some guy, and then I remember, just my then manager is like, why don't you ask if you can be transferred? And it's really hard in the system to get transferred is the first thing, right? And I was convinced that I have to quit and all these things because I really wanted to serve. I said, Lord, I really do. And I remember I remember telling my manager that's what I want to do, and they allowed me to move to Albion. They allowed me to move to Albion. They allowed me, and when they allowed me to move, where I was going to stay at that estate was not defined. I was going to be in some lonely part at the back, and but the Lord just fit everything. The Lord just fit everything. I had a good place at Albion Estate. I was able to move. None of my benefits or money was removed. Um, Obviously, I do have a place to stay in New Amsterdam and so on, but how the whole situation panned out, I know the Lord wanted me to move there and not moving there because there's some opportunity to get a husband. You know, up to now, people still think that I moved there because I got married. Coming here, my husband is a bonus gift, a beautiful gift from God, but he is not the reason I moved. And every time people tell me, oh, you moved here for man, and so in my mind, I ain't able to explain all the time, but that prayer has helped me to see that God answers prayers that will help us to build faith in him. It's not necessarily a material thing. I'm like, God, if you bless me with a scare, I'm gonna worship you forever. No. He's looking at your heart, and the prayer, if answering this prayer is gonna bring you closer to him, it's gonna help you to see him more, it's gonna help you to know him more. That's what he's looking at. Right? So I'll tell you a story about meeting my husband another time, but let's go to part 2.